Good morning, everyone. I am making a quick video on one of my signature soaps called Blessed. I will kind of show you the process and share my base recipe with you, and hopefully you can learn some stuff through the video. I will try to give as much explanation as I can while I'm making this video. Right now, I already poured my lye into the water. And now I'm going to pour my sugar, which was 5% of the recipe. So I'm taking 5% of the recipe, half of that sugar in the lye water, and half at the end. And I will show you how I do it. This is the first time I'm making this recipe, and I'm making it this way so that it can be fluid. So let's see how it goes. If you see, I have one crock pot here. I'm going to make a double batch of lemongrass, and I have one crock pot here. I'm going to make my Blessed. So this video is for the Blessed. So my oils are at 212, so I'm going to let it cool a little bit. And I'm going to let the sugar and the salt dissolve in the lye water. This is going to be a high temperature, hot process video. This recipe is 13 ounces of coconut oil, 11 ounces of palm oil, and 24 ounces of olive oil. This is my base recipe for my soaps. I know there's a lot of people that have problems with palm oil being unsustainable. Where I purchase my palm oil is sustainable. The person that harvests the palm oil, the territory has been theirs for many years, and there is no animals or any issues of him harvesting the palm oil. So my palm oils are sustainable. So that's why I use it in my products. If they were not, I would find another recipe. So this is my base recipe. The oil is at 200 degrees, and my lye is a little low. It's at 163, but it's okay. I'm going to go ahead and start the process. Anytime that you make soaps from scratch, always have gloves, always have goggles, some type of glasses to protect your eyes, and a mask. So we just had our first volcano. Gonna let it cook some more, and then I'll start warming up my super fat, my sugar water, and my sodium lactate. Here's my sodium lactate at 5%. My sugar water, I took 2 ounces from the water that I was supposed to mix with the lye and stirred it with 2.5% of the recipe. So the sugar in here is 2.5 of the recipe that I'm making, which is 48 ounces of oils. And my super fat is 7 ounces. And for me, that makes a yummy bar, and I really like it. Put it back on the crock pot to see if it will cook faster. So, because this is a new batch to me, everything just looks very different. I've never had my batch to be this fluid, but since I am working with a recipe that's a fluid batch, I'm learning as I go, so you're on the journey with me. But I really like how fluid this batch is. I'm so used to having a thick batch. And I'm not sure if it's because of all the sugar that I put at the beginning. Because I didn't add any super fats yet. I'm still cooking the soap. So I'm going to put this back on the crock pot and let it cook some more so it can get to gel stage. This batch is so fluid that it's even hard for me to tell if I've reached gel stage or not. It looks like I have, but it's so fluid, I almost don't know what stage the soap is in, although it looks like it's gelled. So I'm going to do a quick zap test and see if we're there yet. In the meantime, I'm going to warm up my super fats. This batch went super slow. It went so slow that I had to put it on the crock pot. So I don't know if it's because the lye water was at 175 and the oils were at 201 to cause it to go this slow, or maybe the lye is not as strong. I am not sure, but I think we're halfway gel phase. And again, this is my first time making fluid hot process, so this process is completely new to me. So even looking at the different stages, it looks very different from my other one. I didn't quite go through a mashed potato stage with this, and it only volcanoed once. I'm used to my recipes volcanoing twice, or maybe 2 times and then a little one. But this only volcanoed 1 time, so I'm going to let it cook a little bit more and then add my super fat. But looking at it, it does look like it's at a gel stage. Okay, I'm finally at a Vaseline stage, which is awesome. I did my zap test, so I am going to start adding my super fats, my syrup water, my sodium lactate. I'm still trying to figure out if I'm going to add my coconut water. We'll see. Okay, my soap is finally ready. Took a long time. But remember, everything should be warm at the time of putting it in your soap. And it would be great to have your soap at about 180-ish when you're adding your additives so that they don't cook off. So I'm going to add my super fat. Now my super fat is 1 ounce coconut oil, 2 ounce shea butter, 2 ounce sweet almond oil, half a teaspoon of vitamin E, and 2 ounces of extra virgin olive oil. Now my extra virgin olive oil I always infuse in all my recipes. It all depends on how I feel. So this recipe, the infused extra virgin olive oil, is flaxseed and oatmeal. I am really liking this fluid recipe. Can't wait to see what the bar is going to be like. For people that like to do lots of colors, I'm more basic. But for people that like to do lots of colors, this is perfect. I don't use micas. I don't use any colors that are not natural, that are not clays, powders. Now this is in my line. Now for my custom orders, when I make party favors, I may use a little something, but not quite often at all. So my super fat is mixed in really good. I'm going to add my sugar water, which honestly I could have put all at the same time, but clearly I like playing with soap. And my sodium lactate. Everything is really nice and warm in here. My batch right now is at 164. Now it's thickening up a bit, and I think it's because of my super fat. I have the shea butter and the coconut oil, which is a solid. So it's starting to thick up a bit. I'm going to put this on a crock pot for about 5 minutes, let it cool, and add my essential oil. Let's see what we're working with here. I let the super fat sit in with the sodium lactate and the syrup water. Let it sit on the crock pot for about 5 minutes. If you notice, the batch is a little thicker. This is actually what I'm used to. So basically the whole time it was fluid, and now it's a little thick. So I'm going to see what happens when we put the coconut milk in here. I wanted to use coconut yogurt, but I don't have any, so I'll see how fluid this gets with the coconut milk. Sometimes I have a tendency to overcook my recipe. With my essential oil, I make the blend the night before. If I'm using the same oil for the whole batch, I just pour it into the batch. But since this is a blend of 3 different oils, I blended it last night so that it can go into the soap as a blend versus 3 different oils. And you may get 3 different scents at different times of smelling the batch, but as a blend, you get it all at once. The best way to come up with your blend, if you want to try something new, add a drop of whatever it is that you want to try on a cotton ball and leave it in a Ziploc bag for 24 hours. The next day you get the true essence of what the blend is like. So let's say if you want to know what a blend of lavender and lemongrass want to be like, maybe you could get three Ziploc bags, put 1 drop lavender, 1 drop lemongrass on one cotton ball, then maybe 1 drop lemongrass and 2 drops of lavender on another cotton ball, and then maybe let's say 5 drops of lavender and 2 drops of lemongrass on another cotton ball, and leave it for 24 hours and pick out basically which one you like the best out of the 3 different scents. And that's how you come up with your blends. The easiest way is to put it on a cotton ball, wait 24 hours, and see how you like the smell. So this blend I never tried before. I actually, instead of doing the cotton ball, I just did it in the cup, let it sit, and luckily I like the smell of it, so that's what I'm putting in the soap. This again is my signature soap called Blessed. When I first made this soap, I used fragrance oil. That's at the time that I wasn't really into understanding the skin and had not gone to school for skincare and understand the importance of what you put on your skin goes into your body. So now that I understand that, I don't put any fragrances in my line. Again, for custom orders, for parties and party favors, if someone requests a fragrance, I'll look for a natural fragrance, but never perfume. Right now, I'm going to do in the pot swirl. So I blended some sandalwood chips, and I'm going to take some activated charcoal, blend it in, and put it in. If you need to learn how to blend your herbs to put it almost like powder in your products, you use a coffee grinder. I believe they even have some just for herbs. So I'm going to blend a little bit more of the sandalwood chips to add into my soap. Of course, this is something I should have done before. I'm not sure if I emphasized this enough before. Make sure everything that you use is warm if you want to keep your soap fluid. Okay, this is my blessed soap. So, what do I do with these extra pieces? This is for my household. So I'm going to let this soap cool off a little bit and then roll it into balls so I can use it in my household. Dried up on the corners. So I'll scrape that up. Sometimes I use this for my household, or if I want to give samples, I'll give this away as samples. But this is what it looks like. Nothing pretty, but usable. Here we go. I had a lot more than I thought, so I went ahead and put in a small mold so we can use for samples or for the house. So let's see how this soap holds up. I have some soap dried up in my hand, so we're going to use this little bit to test out the suds and lather of the soap. Lots of bubbles and lots of lather. And this is the little piece that I have in my hand. And it smells delicious. In the land of soap making, today was a tough day. I had started recording the second big batch, my double batch that I was making for the first time in the turkey roaster. I have no clue what I did wrong. I don't know if I put too much lye. I don't know if the turkey roasted and dried out the soap too quickly, but I just wasted 96 ounces of water. I'm sorry, 96 ounces of oils. So you can imagine that's a bummer. But we'll go ahead and cut this, my blessed soap. So out of the batches that I made today, this is the only one that survived. It smells amazing. This is a bud. This is called Bud's Wood Shop. I brought this on Etsy. This cuts 1.5 inches. No, 1.25 inches, I'm sorry. So my bars are really big. So with this batch, I'm going to cut it and then cut it in half so that these make 4 ounces versus the 8 ounces I'm going to get when I cut them. And here is blessed. Let me quickly measure it out. It may be 9 ounces actually. It really looks big. Pretty bar soap. Activated charcoal. Red sandalwood chips. These are weighing at 9.2. Okay, thank you for watching. Hopefully you learned a lot from this video. I will be making a lot more. And we are going to get that double batch down pat next time so I can show you guys how to soak in a turkey roaster and double your batch. Have a blessed day. Have a blessed day.